Well, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our trending topics this morning, and here they are. We're going to our question first, just reversing the order slightly for this morning. Here's the question. So, as we commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Marikana massacre, what lessons have we learned from that tragedy? Please let us know your views at Morning Live SABC. It's 10 years on, and of course we'll be looking at perhaps what's been happening after recommendations that were made in this regard as well. So please stay with us. We'll go through this, but we'd love to hear your view at Morning Live SABC, and we'll share some of those as the morning progresses as well. Let's go to those trending topics now. Here they are. First up, Sadio Mane. And this is because Liverpool played last night. They played Crystal Palace at Anfield, and they drew 1-1, went down to 10 men, but still managed to score to equalize. You know, the supporters are basically noting the importance that Sadio Mane perhaps had in the team. And Liverpool, of course, 2 points from 2 games at this point. It's early days in the season, but I think there are some rumblings of discontent, concern that already there is a gap starting to form between them and the log leaders, the champions, Man City, who are, of course, on a perfect record after 2 matches on 6 points. Liverpool with 2 at this stage. So the Liverpool faithful just talking about Sadio Mane and how he's missed. The next one, rest in peace, Tokuluma Shabalala Makesh there. And this was so sad yesterday, learning this particular piece of news. And this is, of course, the T in TKZ that is no more. And I think for many of us, the soundtrack to our youth, the TKZ days, you know, and for some reason, for me personally, it's the TKZ family that comes to mind. But yeah, very sad day, and many South Africans taking to Twitter in an outpouring of grief and, sorrowful expression at the news that Makesh has passed on. The next one is #PalaPala Farmgate, and a number of things here. In the main, this comes on because of former President Jacob Zuma appearing at the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein yesterday, and then people talking about what was happening there, basically saying that the former president is being persecuted, all that while the current president, Ramaphosa, seemingly is not facing any sort of repercussions as a result of Pala Gate and the allegations that have been leveled, case that has been opened, and seemingly nothing is moving. So this is essentially why this particular hashtag is trending. People also want to know, where is the movement? Why are we not hearing anything with regard to this particular case? Our next trend this morning, Raila Odinga, and of course he has lost yet again. 5-time contender there in the Kenyan elections, losing this time to William Ruto, and the Twitterati talking about perhaps how this is just not meant to be, given that William Ruto established a party that's only 2 years old and still managed to beat Raila Odinga, who was of course given support by the incumbent Uhuru Kenyatta, and still did not manage to win this particular election. So people just talking about that particular matter on Twitter. And finally, Zulu. Now, this is such an interesting story, and I'm hoping that during the week at some point we will be able to talk more discursively about what's happening here. There seems to be a split in the royal household here, with Zulu, of course, being recognized officially by the government as the king. But then, of course, his brother, King Smagate, has also now been recognized by a faction of the royal household. And I'm not sure if fascinating is the word, because it's quite mind-blowing at this point. That's Smagate, and some of the official inductions that are taking place, said to have been done for Simakate over the weekend, and the same sort of ritual will be done for Mrs. Zulu at this coming weekend, and both of them at this point claiming that they are the king of AmaZulu. So this is a very interesting one, and as I say, hopefully we'll be able to speak to someone who can just bring us greater clarity about what is going on here. And just one here, KZN Premier Nomusa Dube saying that her office has dispatched a team to Kwanongoma to help in preparing for King Misuzulu entering the sacred kraal. And, you know, this is, of course, as I said, after King Simakate had done the very same ritual the weekend before. So that's where we'll leave that one for the time being. We're going to take a quick break. After this, we'll speak to David Bruce, an independent researcher specializing in policing and consultant for the ISS. He was also part of the panel of experts which was established on the recommendations of the Marikana Commission. So we'll speak to him about some of those recommendations and how far we've come 10 years since that massacre. All of that after the break.